We all know how fascinating the natural world is. It is an endless source of inspiration. There is so much to see, so much to wonder about, and so many stories that we can gather in our journals. I am Sangeetha Kadur. I'm a wildlife artist. I paint and illustrate the natural world. Outside of my studio work, I enjoy journaling with nature. A pen and a journal can be your best companion during any nature walk, while bird watching, or just spending time with nature. Plants are definitely one of the best subjects to start journaling with. They really pose for us, give us all the time in the world to observe them, sketch them, and write about them. Right here in my neighborhood is this beautiful ficus tree, the cluster fig. When it's in fruit, it's a feast for different species of birds and animals. Now let's take this tree as an example and get into the basics and learn how to keep a nature journal. As a first step, take a few minutes to notice the various features of the tree. It could be the leaves, the fruits, the bark, or the various textures. Next, let's transfer all these observations onto our sketchbook. Try to make life-size drawings and focus on capturing the different shapes and forms. By drawing, we are literally training our eyes to see, and how we really see something is what gets translated onto paper. Notice the fruits. They look quite big, round, and they're growing in dense clusters. They seem to be emerging directly from the main trunk and branches of the tree. Pay attention to how the fig fruits are so closely arranged and how they overlap each other. Try to capture these interesting characteristics and depict it as naturally. You may find fallen fruits and leaves on the ground. You can pick them up and observe them closely. Keeping the fruit up close gives you an opportunity to focus on the details, understand its form, color, and the other features more intently. Now let's make a detailed sketch of the leaf. Observe the shape and form. The leaves look oval, somewhat elongated, and narrows down towards the tip. The veins are very prominent. Also take a look at how the leaves are arranged on the stalk. Try and imitate the little deformities that you notice on the leaves. Many of these leaves seem to have gall formations on them. While some observations are better captured with drawings, some observations might be easier to put down in words. Writing helps us express ourselves, it helps us describe elaborately and reflect upon what's happening around us. Add the name of the tree if you know it. Do not forget to include the place, date, and time. These are the most essential elements that go on to any journal page. There are many non-visual observations that you can make a note of. These are things that you cannot see but you can feel, such as what the weather was like, your first impressions, and your personal thoughts and feelings. This combination of drawing and writing to document nature makes our observations a lot more detailed and memorable, and our journals a lot more visual and informative. The best part is, each of these moments spent sketching in nature gets ingrained in our mind. Remember, it is your journal book and you can figure out your own style of journaling. You could play around with the lettering and how you compose the various elements on your page. Some journals are filled with facts and observations, while some include long stories and narratives. Few journals are a lot more visual, graphic, and design oriented, and a few other journals could be poetic and playful. It's completely up to each one of us. Do not stress yourself about a pretty journal page. That is not the goal of this activity. Instead, enjoy the process and focus on making observations along with sketches and notes. While journaling, you don't need any fancy gadgets or tools. The most important would be a sketchbook and pens and pencils. When you pick up a sketchbook, make sure it is hardbound so that it doesn't wobble when you're walking around and sketching. You could, when time permits, you could use color pencils in the field too. A little watercolor set A handy watercolor set is great for the field if you want to add a light wash of color. Keep it simple, comfortable and easy. Journaling with nature is not just a fun activity but an incredible learning tool. Sketching outdoors gives us the opportunity to explore and interact with the natural world. Capturing these direct observations on paper really helps us notice things better, slow down and pay attention to detail. Subconsciously, we are not only getting to know the incredible species around us that share our planet with, but also building an intimate and empathetic connect with them. The key is to spend time outdoors, observe, hold on to a curious mind, ask questions, and do not hesitate to make that mark on paper.